So I'm dealing with the local budget. We're down $150-something million. State budget, the revenue's down 9%. Half of that goes to localities. I'm really worried about this year. I'm looking into the eyes of the firefighters, the teachers.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Fairfax
Do you have any advice?
60.
What was that?
I talked to the head of the Fairfax firefighters yesterday. They're saying the recommendation was they have to cut 60 of their. It's tough.
Do you have any political advice for a Democrat at the local level?
Well, you were already with me, so there's nothing I can say to you. Should have liked to be governor. I would have gotten Obama, got that money. I would have had Boeing here and everybody else with all these jobs and whatever. Nothing we could do about that. You were with me. I wish I could give you the answer. I mean, we still have to stay. You got to start doing the best you can in Loudoun County and attract a new business there. You've got to increase your tax base. You either raise taxes, or you cut services, or you figure out a new way to bring in some new economic activity. Virginia is an easy sell. It's rated the best place to do business. It's close to the United States Capitol. They want to be close to Washington because of the access to all that capital there. It's a beautiful state. We have a lot of things going for us. But we are not good about incentivizing businesses to come in. Our Governor's Opportunity Fund, which I'm happy everybody after me in the campaign became like a top, is a joke. I mean, we can't compete with other states with the size of our budget. It's ridiculous. So we've got to get a mentality. We've got to be creative. We've got to entice businesses to come in. And I tell you, I was wild when I read the Boeing thing the other day and find out we weren't even in the game on it. I mean, can you imagine if you could build a new airline thing down in the south side, southwest? 40,000 jobs. We need something big. And my only point is these jobs are moving. Don't act like this economy. People are coming. Now more than ever, there are opportunities. If you actually grew up in New York, as you all know, and some of my opponents always thought I wanted to run for governor in New York.
Or Florida.
Michigan, Illinois, Kansas. They had me running everywhere. But you're in some of these big states like California and New York, your taxes are going through the rough. I would spend all my time, and no offense to those other states, but I spend all my time up there with those businesses saying, here's what I can offer you here in Virginia. So we have real opportunities. That's what we should be doing. California, they're bankrupt. You could bring a lot of those high-tech, build upon Silicon Valley, because we have a real great base in Northern Virginia. But, you know, use Northern Virginia to help bring it there, but use the other parts of the state to get the labor that you need to get a lot of things done in this tech industry.
Everything you have said about dealing with the Republican administration raises the question of the Democrats getting their message across. And when we have no prominent elected official, how do you suppose and how do you recommend that the Democrats are going to respond effectively and get our message out?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was with Senator Warren, Mark Warner, last night. He and I sat with each other at dinner last night. We had a long time talking about what should happen in the party and how we do this, because it's important for us. You know, we've got Mark, we've got Jim Webb, so I mean, we do have our party governor is the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, and he's going to stay in that job for the next 3 years. So we have some great tools that we can access to help us do that, and you do have President Obama. But we have got to build our grassroots.
I mean the specific situations that will arise in the assembly, the laws, the attempts, the
Ken, Jim, the rest of them, they got to get out and start.
But if we have conflicting responses, I want to have a very aggressive messaging.
Yeah.
And I don't see any attempt to set that up in the state Democratic Party today.
And we need to.
If I can in part respond to that, we hired your policy director in our House caucus.
Smart move. Smart man. I'm telling you, this Ken Plum is something. Jim, you hear this up here? Next time you'll be up here at the front table, man. But the state party, you know, listen, we've got to build that organization inside the state party. We've got to do it quickly. And we have got to work better with, you know, the Senate and the House of Delegates, all of us working together. I mean, one thing when I ran, I said, and I told Ken this, you know, if I were the nominee, and I said I'd help pay for all the races, but we needed a central theme for what my message was. I mean, the message obviously I
That's
agreed
what I mean.
worked. Everybody running for office, if you can all run with the same message, it has such a better impact of getting to the voters. If you have differing messages, it gets lost. There was not a, I hate to say it, there was not a cohesive message that if you were voting for a House of Delegate, it meant something for Creed Dietz for governor or Steve Sham for Attorney General. It just didn't matter. We should have had one, everybody together. A true coordinated campaign. And that's what we got to get back to. We are now in the opposition.
Let me help you with that.
Please.
As a person who's walked the streets in the rain, knocked on doors for 10 years, and had 10 years of gains in our party, we're not going to stand to go through another election like we just went through. And the leadership has to know that. And it really has to start looking at infrastructural issues in the party.
Yes.
I always continue to hear, get our voters out. Well, we're no longer the largest party in Virginia, neither are the Republicans. The largest party in Virginia is independents.
Right.
And what are we going to do to really move the independents to the Democrats is the key issue. And we don't seem to go after what we should be going after. I've gone through so many campaigns where great kids come from other states that work in our campaigns here in Virginia, but we don't seem to home grow our own Democratic young leadership. The Republicans continually do it with the Heritage Foundation, Cato, American Enterprise Institute. Where do our young people go to become the next leaders of Virginia? Where are those think tanks that build their resumes? So, in terms of running an election like we just ran, how are we going to change that? We can't go back to that ever again.
No, I agree. You hate to lose, you know, I mean, right. I mean, it was up and down. And I just laid a predicate. We had so many new voters. I mean, the easy thought process is, well, you know, we have all these new voters who came in and voted in Northern Virginia for Barack Obama. They're just going to come out and vote for us again. We'll win this, and then Creed lost by 300 votes. It's not how it works. To go to your main point on the independents, the only thing that moves them are the issues. That's it. Good ideas. They are very sophisticated. They are very educated. They figure this out. They filter it very quickly. So we have got to be the party of big, bold ideas. We got to be on the cutting edge on those types of issues. But you're right. We got to get more young people in the party. Now, I will say this for my years as chairman of the National Party. I used to give this speech and all of it. Most of the state parties and many of the local county organizations, I'm talking nationwide, everywhere I went, did not make it the most welcoming experience to bring new blood, new people into their organizations. For whatever reason, people wanted to hold on to their little power, which I don't know what that power was in the county organization that you're trying to keep people out from. But honestly, we make it sort of small and cliquish, and people have been there for, bring new people in, invite them to come in, encourage them. I say this all the time, it used to drive me crazy. And if I'm a young person, I go to my first sort of county meeting of the Democratic Party, and I'm dealt with like I'm, not a real person, and I walk out. I'm never coming back.
Yeah, that's right.
Got to change it. Got to bring in. You got to make it welcoming. So everybody here, you've got to shake it up. I mean, Scott did a great job in Fairfax of bringing a lot of new young people in, but we got to get some new blood, some energy, and new doesn't mean anything wrong with the old. We just got to bring people to work together. It isn't this versus that. Too many times they do this again. Bring everybody together. Let's all get in, and we know we are right on the issues. Trust me. I mean, nationally, what is it that the Republicans stand for? Nothing. Stop Barack Obama. That's it. Okay, we know where they're coming from. We know where, the president's out there in jobs, and he had to deal with the Afghan situation. He dealt with stem cell right off the bat. I give him credit. A lot of people advised him not to do health care. He said, no, I ran on it. I'm going to do it my first year. It was a very politically risky thing to do, and it was the right thing to do. So, we got to support him. So he's clearly giving us good ideas. But when those new independent Obama voters don't think that the candidate at the local level is subscribing to the same things that he's trying to get done, they're staying home.
It wasn't just the youth vote, though. being unwelcomed in the barnacle-encrusted establishment. Okay.
That was their establishment, God.